Assalamu alaikum, I'm Aisha and you're watching Samaa News. Here are today's headlines.
US Secretary of State Marco Rubio says there has been progress in talks with Iran and Oman aimed at allowing more ships to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. Rubio says no final agreement has been reached yet, but Washington hopes a deal will be reached very shortly. However, he made it clear that the denuclearization of Iran would be the ultimate deal. Meanwhile, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that Washington could reach a deal with Iran by Wednesday to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Speaking to CNBC, Bessent says the agreement would restore freedom of movement through the vital waterway and help stabilize global energy prices.
Conflicting signals from the United States and Iran over the status of talks to end their 5-month-old war have boosted uncertainty. US President Donald Trump said the talks were underway, warning of a last chance for Tehran to sign a good deal. But Iran denied that negotiations were being held or planned. Trump claimed the sides were talking at the request of Iran, Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Qatar, among others. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesman Esmail Baghai said no negotiations with the United States were taking place and no meetings were scheduled. Meanwhile, a cargo vessel broadcast it was hit by an unknown projectile near the Strait off Oman's coast.
Oil prices have plunged on hopes of a US-Iran deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. US crude WTI fell 5% to $76.32 a barrel, while Brent crude dropped back below $80, easing fears of supply disruptions from the conflict. On the other hand, Saudi oil giant Aramco has said that the US-Israeli war with Iran has cost global markets more than 2.6 billion barrels of oil. CEO Amin Nasser warned that depleted inventories could take up to 18 months to replenish, even if the Strait of Hormuz reopens today.
The US Army has used up much of its stockpile of highly accurate long-range missiles during its 5-month war with Iran, raising concerns about the military's readiness for future conflicts. According to 3 people familiar with the data, the missiles are principally the Army's surface-to-surface weapons, known as Army Tactical Missile Systems and Precision Strike Missiles. The sources said the US has used virtually all of these weapons. The degree to which the military is running out of these missiles has not been previously reported. Analysts say such weapons, which cost over $1 million each, would also be important in any conflict with China.
On the other hand, the latest round of US-facilitated talks between Israel and Lebanon has also begun in Rome and will continue through Thursday. US State Department spokesperson Tommy Pigott said that Washington remains committed to supporting both sides in efforts to achieve lasting security and restore Lebanese state authority in the south.
US President Donald Trump has accused ExxonMobil and Chevron of making too much money off higher fuel prices and said the oil giants should give some of that back to the public, a notable break from his usual alliance with the industry. Trump told reporters he didn't like it 3 days after the companies reported blowout second-quarter earnings as the ongoing war in Iran keeps oil prices high. Wildfires raging on the outskirts of Spokane, Washington, for a 3rd day have destroyed at least 700 buildings and forced tens of thousands of people to flee their homes in and around the state's 2nd most populous city. The Spokane area fires have blackened more than 8,000 acres since erupting on Saturday on the northern fringe of the city. Video footage from the fire zone showed a miles-long column of smoke creeping through treetops as airplane tankers swooped overhead, dropping scarlet-coloured fire-retardant slurries onto the blaze. Bangladesh has asked India to clarify its stance on exiled former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's planned virtual address from New Delhi, warning that allowing political activities by a fugitive could hurt improving bilateral relations. Bangladesh's State Minister for Foreign Affairs, Shama Obaid Islam, told reporters Dhaka is moving forward with India with a forward-looking approach, adding that India has to be clear about its stance. He said Bangladesh has repeatedly conveyed its concerns to India over Hasina and other Awami League leaders making political statements from Indian soil. That's all for now. For more updates, visit www.samaa.tv. Thank you for watching Samaa News.